What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Italian Football TV. We are excited because Juventus beat Porto 2-0 in what was a very dominant performance against a 10-man Porto who, after the first 10 minutes, always seemed to not be in this match. What were you excited about this? What did you think about it?
I mean, to be honest, I had a feeling Juve going to win this match, but expecting a little bit more from Porto, to be honest. They were a little defensive, but I guess you can argue because they were down to 10 men at the end of the day. Juve really bossed in possession. They were just dominant in all areas. They didn't score in the first half. They were very close, but they finally broke the deadlock in the second half.
I mean, the first half was a bit frustrating, to be honest with you. I mean, they were trying. Dybala hit the post right before halftime, and it would have been a beautiful way to close out the half, and it seemed like it was always going to come from Juventus. But then as you go on to this match in the 55th, in the 60th, in the 65th minute, and you don't score, you start to think, maybe today's not my day. And they got that offside goal from Dybala first, and then Max Allegri, I mean, the balls that he showed to take off Juan Cuadrado, who's been a staple for this Juventus team, and put on a young kid like Piazza, 21 years old, who's never even scored a goal for Juventus, puts him in, and he is the decider in this match.
It definitely shows how Allegri, he's such a great coach. It really shows. His decisions really gave Juve this win. I could have definitely seen a 0-0 tie for this one. We could have been talking about Juve's frustrations, how they're not picking up in the Champions League. But no, Allegri actually made the two key substitutions. Dani Alves being the second one that scored the second goal, giving Juve the 2-0 win.
I think Allegri's footballing IQ, the way that he could read a match during the game, is just beautiful to see. It's a thing that Juventus have struggled with in the Champions League, not analyzing a game as it goes along and seeing which kind of players go with the game and how it flows, because Cuadrado, every play was going to the wing. Every single ball was going to the sides for Juventus, to Cuadrado, to whoever, and they were crossing it in, and it wasn't working against Porto. We needed to go through the middle, and that's actually how Piazza scored. It was a little bit of an assist from the Porto defender, but I think that he knew that Piazza was the man to put in that Cuadrado. It wasn't for him this game, and I think Allegri deserves massive credit on this one.
Yeah, especially because we're talking about how first half they were just crossing the ball, didn't really have a plan. But in the second half, they really knew what they're doing, especially because within 2 minutes they scored an offside goal. But from then on, they were just more dominant, not just with possession, but with attacks and everything else.
Porto were very underwhelming. It was always Juventus. They had 70-something% possession. What was it? 76%. I mean that's
playing away from home.
And I think that Porto never showed up. It was always Juve's game to lose, and it was more like that. Even the 10 men, yes, it put them on the back, but I think that either way, Juventus were just the stronger team in this one. And I think that Dybala, I needed more from Dybala tonight.
I mean, first half, you can't really pick out anyone because everyone was a little bit cold. It took them a while to warm up. In the second half, they're all a little bit better. No one was really bad in this game, you gotta say. Their defense, they didn't need anything.
Barely did anything.
I don't think I've seen Buffon very much that game either. They just didn't trouble
Which is
them.
always a nice sight to see.
It is a nice sight, but their midfield was very the powerhouse of this game. They kept passing. They were playing good football.
I think that Alexandro was the man of the match for Juventus. I mean, he was all over the pitch. He was coming back, winning tackles, beating his man, sending in crosses, setting up plays, fighting in the middle against his former team. And I think he's been a massive part for Juventus. He did give that second assist to Dani Alves. And it was fantastic from him. But there was something else needed. I think that everyone had a good game. Maybe at times a little bit more was needed. But this is also a different Juventus that we've seen in the Champions League. They're clinical. They're killing the game off. And I think for the next match, I think it's going to be extremely hard for Porto to even have a chance at getting back in this one.
No, I definitely agree.
Two away goals.
Just in general, it's very hard to score against Juventus. And this right here, they won 2-0 away from home.
How many games have they unbeaten?
Yeah,
19 games?
Porto are undefeated before this game, 19 games at home. And Juve, I would say comfortably beat them 2-0.
Maybe not the goals always comfortably, but they were dominating the game.
In Torino, it's going to be very hard for at least Porto to score one goal because we all know how great their team is, their defense, the Buffon.
And they were missing Juve's arguably best defender, Leonardo Bonucci. There's controversial decision by Allegri to drop Bonucci, leave him in the stands for disciplinary actions we saw against Palermo. So he did that, and this wasn't Juve's best defense, but I think they had nothing to do tonight, virtually nothing. And in Torino, it's going to be even harder to do that. Porto, of course, will try to look for something, but we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What did you think of the match? Who was your man of the match? Mine, for sure, Alexandro. And who was
Alexandro was good. I like Dybala for sure because first half, he improved from the first half to the second half. He hit the post, but I felt like he kept having the ball. He kept making those key passes, even though he didn't score. Hit the post, but overall, not the best. But Alexandro...
Man of the match.
Man of the match. Hey, he played
after Allegri.
Extra long. Yeah.
After Allegri.
Allegri was a mastermind.
Allegri, you really deserve a lot of credit. He's often not credited in the footballing world. He's not animated. He doesn't go on the sideline, dive into the crowd. But he's got a huge football
Very
IQ.
humble. And also, we got to talk about Leicester City over here.
Yes.
Ranieri, even though they lost 2-1 to Sevilla, away from home, they got a vital advantage.
Jamie
They got
Vardy.
a nice away goal. So hopefully 1-0 they win back in England and they could go through.
It's going to be tough.
Get the dream going,
Hopefully
guys.
another Italian could keep going in the Champions League. Guys, as always, we want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and be sure to comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys.
Ragazzi.